This video is meant to show you how to host a live class in Teams. Once you've navigated to the Teams, you will need to decide which channel you would like to host your meeting in. Once you're in that channel, that is where the recordings and any of the information from the particular meeting will be housed. When you're ready to start your meeting, you will need to navigate up to the camera on the right-hand side and click the down arrow. You will select Meet Now. This will take you to a screen where you can go ahead and set up some of the settings for the class. First, you will need to give the meeting a subject. I like to give the meeting a date as the subject so that students know where they can find any class meetings recordings that they have missed. You can also turn on your camera here and change any background filters. You can have no background, you can add a blur, you can choose one of the preset photos or videos that they have set, or you can also upload your own video or picture here for your background. Another important feature here is the audio settings. By clicking the Custom Setup button, you can change your speakers, your microphone, brightness, any of those important device settings for your audio and video. When you have all of your settings ready to go, please press the Join Now button. This will begin your Teams call. Once you are in the meeting, your main navigation in Teams is all here at the top. These are all of the main navigation buttons that you will need to use. The first option is the chat option. This will pull up the meeting chat. You may want to warn your students that everyone in the meeting can view the chat, and anyone in the team can go back and view the chat after the meeting. You also may want to tell students if you will or will not be utilizing the chat so that they don't use it if you're not going to be monitoring it. But here, you can provide feedback to students, or you could type a question for them to ponder, or any information you would like to type to them. The next button is the People button, or the Participants button. This is where you will be able to see everyone who is in the meeting. It also gives you some suggestions for people to call in, or you can type a name here at the top and invite somebody into the meeting that maybe is having trouble getting into the meeting on their own. Next is the Raise Your Hand button and the Reaction button. Students can press this so that it will show a little hand beside their name, and they could use this to raise their hand virtually instead of raising their hand like they would in class. There is also a reaction button. You could ask students to give a thumbs up if they agree with a statement, applaud for a student who just made a good point or presented something, or share that they love or think something is funny or surprised. Another option in Teams is the View. You can change how you view your students in Teams. You can use the gallery view. The speaker view makes it so that the speaker is the prominent person, whoever is speaking. Or the Together mode makes everyone look like you are sitting in an auditorium together. Another really neat feature in Teams is breakout rooms. By pressing Rooms, you'll have the option to create breakout rooms. This is where you can host small group discussions, think, pair, share, partner discussions, any kind of small group activity that you would maybe do in the classroom, you can now do in Teams. You will need to choose the number of rooms you want your students broken up to. So if you have 20 students and you want them to talk one-on-one, you would press 10. If you want 4 small groups of 5, you would press 4. And you can have Teams either automatically assign people to each room, or you can manually assign and pick who you want to be in each room. Then you'll press Create Rooms. It will load your rooms, and once it's ready, you will press Begin Rooms or Start, Open. Then your students will see a countdown, and they will automatically be taken to their breakout room. They do not have to do anything to navigate there. There they can have the discussion that you've suggested. You can pop in and out of all of the rooms so that you can make sure that students are on task and help with any different needs that they may have. And when you are ready for them to come back to the main classroom, you can press End, and it will bring them all back to the main discussion. the three dots, you have more options. This is where you can begin a recording and a transcription for the class. If you have students that are not going to be able to attend, you may want to record so that they can go back and watch the lecture at another time. You also have transcriptions available for those who may need closed captions. Also at the three dots, you can change your video and audio settings like we talked about towards the beginning of the video. And you have other settings available here. One important thing you may want to do is press the meeting options button. Here are some more settings that you can change. One thing I recommend changing is under roles. You'll want to change who can present from everyone to only organizers and co-organizers. You will have to do this for every meeting. This makes it so that a student cannot start sharing their screen or take over in the meeting. Once you've selected only organizers and co-organizers and changed any other settings here that you feel you need to, press save. The rest of the settings in the navigation bar are you can turn your camera on or off here. You also have a lot of those other settings that we've seen in other places. You can mute or turn your microphone on here, and you can also share your screen here. A few different options are available to you when you share your screen. The first thing you may want to do is include computer sound. By turning this on, any sound that comes onto your computer will also be shared with your students. You will need to toggle this button on if you are going to show students a video or play some kind of audio that you want students to also hear. From here, you can show your window or your screen in three different ways. Probably the easiest one to use is the screen. This will just minimize the camera option so that students can see anything you have on your screen. You can navigate to eLearn, you can navigate to PowerPoint, Microsoft Word. However, you want to make sure that any personal and private information is hidden when you choose this option. Another option is to choose the window. This will make it so that students can only see a particular window when they share and not your entire screen. So only students can see the eLearn window right now, but I could not easily navigate to other windows with this option. Finally, you can show a PowerPoint. This will pull up a PowerPoint in Teams so that you don't have to navigate outside of Teams, and you can provide it just like you would show a PowerPoint between a smartboard and a group of students. And lastly, there's a whiteboard feature. If you have a stylus or you're really good with a mouse, you can present a whiteboard that only you can edit, or a collaborative whiteboard that your students can also edit with you. There are many different options here available, and you can write and show things with your mouse here. When you are done sharing your screen, you will go back to the Teams call and press the X now there to stop sharing. At the end of your meeting, you may want to go back to People and press the three dots at the top and download the attendance list. This will download an Excel file for you that will show you all of the people that attended your meeting at any time. When you are finally ready for the call to end, you will want to encourage your students to leave the meeting, press the drop-down arrow, and hit End Meeting. This will completely end the meeting for everyone. If you recorded the meeting, your recording will pop up in about 15 minutes here. Students can also access it under Files in the Recordings folder.